Hey guys, welcome to day 5 of the Twin Flame 5-day challenge. Today is the 5th and final day of this challenge. Before I get into today's video topic, I'd just like to recap what we have learned so far. So in day 1, we cleared the playing field. We emptied out all of the junk that's standing in our way, all of the bullshit of all the stuff that we might have read or heard or other experts would have told us about twin flames that are actually feeding our fear-based energy, keeping us pushing the twin flame physically away, and most importantly, keeping us feeling like shit. So we just forgot all about that. If necessary, to dispel some of the myths and bullshit out there, you read my book, Twin Flames Exposed, and you were able to see just how ridiculous some of the most common misconceptions and myths about twin flames out there are. Okay, having cleared out the field, that makes it a fair, even, level ground to then set our intention. Your intention for being on this journey, your intention for coming and doing any kind of work about it, your intention for wanting to move forward and progress and not stay where you are. That intention has to be focused on you. You. Nothing to do with being with the twin flame physically, nothing to do with getting the twin flame physically, nothing to do with being in a romantic, loving relationship with the twin flame physically. Yes, we know. Ultimately, that's what brought you here. That was the catalyst for getting you here. That is what you might want to have happen as you move along this journey. And it is completely, totally possible as you move along this journey. Your soul knows that. The universe knows that. Your heart, we know this, right? That's a given. So you don't have to have your mind on that. Your conscious intention cannot be on that. It cannot be focused on that. Or what? That's the energy of your mind pushing onto your physical form of your twin flame, and therefore what? Pushing your twin flame physically away, keeping that distance physically between you. Okay, so you need to set your intention. We're setting it to feel good, feel great, feel amazing, feel better than you've ever felt. There's a good one. To improve all areas of your life. This journey is miraculous. Every single area of your life will improve. Every aspect will improve. You will magnetize in people, situations, and things that more closely resonate with your true soul vibration, which is your true passions, your true purpose, your true desires, including your twin flame, but also many other things. Conversely, things that no longer resonate with you, relationships that are toxic to you, people you just, are just there and just like sucking up energy from you and space, they will silently and without drama fall away. Your whole life is just going to open up and get so much closer to your true resonance, who you are, which is love, which is integrity. So you're just going to have amazing experiences in all areas of your life. You will start looking at all of life from a level of higher consciousness, so then therefore just less scarcity, less lack, more abundance, and so therefore more of that will be flowing to you. So, and that all equals what? You feeling amazing and good. So really your intention for this just has to be that you feel good. You get out of this funk, you get out of this pain. Okay, so having done that, cleared the field, set the intention. Then in day 3, we learned about getting out of our mind, becoming present, being in the now. The now is all that exists. The now is your soul. The now is love. The now is real, just now. Not the past, not the future. None of those things exist. The past no longer exists. The future never existed, not yet, right? Anytime that you are in the past or the future, that's the only place where fear exists, and therefore your mind focuses. We want to be out of our mind, so we need to be present in love, in stillness, in peace, in our soul energy. And if you're still having issues doing that, this does take some practice. If you're not someone who's ever really done this before, this is why so many people do meditation and meditate. I will tell you, as you move along this journey, as you align with your soul and balance your energy, you get to a point where you're almost in constant meditative state. You don't need to actually go through steps of meditating anymore. You can always do it if you want to, but you can just go on command into that state. That's another beauty of this journey. It's really awesome. But for now, if you're new to this kind of stuff, and you haven't yet made it to that point of this journey, probably if you're watching this challenge, then that's fine. You can meditate. Just I want to warn you, no meditations focusing on your twin flame, trying to communicate or telepathically get in touch with your twin flame, or talk to the higher self of your twin flame. Hey, guess what, guys? Newsflash. Your twin flame's higher self is your soul. It's not about talking to your soul. Your soul doesn't talk. You know what you do? You shift into your soul and then into your twin flame. You are your twin flame. Okay? So all that's a bunch of bullshit. You don't want to do that. Plus, it pushes the energy out onto a focus on your physical form of your twin flame, which then keeps your twin flame physically away from you, right? So we don't want to do any meditations focusing on anything about your twin flame. Okay, just meditations to get you out of your mind, to have you present. Um, uh, Also, like I recommended on day 3, pick up The Power of Now if you haven't already, if you feel so inclined to read it. I think it's also available on Audible if you don't like to read, whatever. Eckhart told him on YouTube. He has so many videos and he's so calming, and he really brought this whole concept of presence and now, to an art form. He's awesome. He's amazing. He's made for the mainstream masses. So, definitely check him out if you're having issues getting out of your mind and being present. Everything happens in the now. Even when your twin flame is right in front of you again, and you're communicating and interacting with your twin flame, even when you're in a relationship with your twin flame or anyone, it always happens now. It's not happening tomorrow. When you're actually doing it, it's happening now, right? It's always now. It's not happening yesterday. It's happening now. You're watching this now. Now is when this is happening. Not a minute ago. Right now, you're seeing me say this word. Okay? So now is when everything is happening. Nothing can happen in the future. Nothing can happen in the past. So be in the now. That's number 1. You can only approach this journey from the presence of now. Okay. And then in day 4, yesterday, we learned how once we are present and in the now, that when we have a feeling, whether it be a bad feeling or a good feeling regarding our twin flame, we know we can look and we can see what our thought is about that feeling. And then we know not that if we're feeling bad about that thought, if that thought makes us feel bad, then guess what? Our belief is that thought, the content of that thought, whatever that thought is bad. And likewise, if we're feeling really good about it, guess what? We know that our belief in that thought and the content of that thought is good. When really, regarding the twin flame, we don't want to feel either. We don't want to believe either that anything is good or bad. Why? Because we have to balance. And that's not balance. Good is on one side, bad is on the other. Balance is in the middle. So we don't want to believe anything about any of our thoughts regarding the twin flame and the twin flame only. We're only focusing on the twin flame in this journey at this point right now. Okay, it's more than enough on your plate, believe me. So we want to say that if we have a negative feeling and it has to do with a thought regarding the twin flame, that hey, we're believing that whatever this thought about our twin flame is a bad thing. There is no bad things. There's no good things, guys. Everything is exactly as it's meant to be in every moment, in every aspect of the universe, not just with your twin flame and your twin flame journey, but for every single person in whatever journey they're on, whatever they're going through, everything is exactly as it's meant to be. That's how precise and perfect the universe is for everything to fit in perfectly, like one big, huge, immense puzzle. And every time anything changes, it all shifts in perfect synchronicity, right? In perfect unison. The universe does not fuck up. It's one beautiful, amazing, just symphony of energy from every single thing and every single person, every single event, every single situation. And it all just blends together exactly as it's all meant to be for every single organism and cell and thing in the universe. All at once coexists together in every single moment, even though it's constantly changing and dynamic. So we know that who are we to judge it as good or bad? We're not. We're nothing. We're no one. Okay? Your mind is no one. You are your soul, and your soul is part of the universe, but your soul doesn't judge. The judgment is your mind. It's your fear-based, push-pull, addictive energy judging your own thoughts as good or bad. We don't judge. That's judgy. We don't do that. Soul is not judgy. Remember, love is no judgment. Love is the absence of judgment. It's acceptance without judgment. That is love. And the whole twin flame point of the twin flame journey is to love. Love yourself and therefore your twin flame. And so that's how we love, guys, and that's where we got to so far. So now on the fifth and final day, I really wanted to focus on um, what happens when, if you're like me or any of my students, that you have a physical pain, an actual physical pain in either your heart, your solar plexus, or your sacral chakra. So that would be in your heart, or just above your belly button in your navel, or just below your belly button in your navel. One of those three places. And this pain is painful. It's either, depending where it is, heart clenching or gut wrenching, right? I remember my pain from this. It had me on the floor for 6 months. It was like I was disemboweled. It was like someone had ripped my soul from my body. That's what it felt like. It was the most pain I've ever felt. And of course, there's no pain. There's no physical, injury there. But this pain, this is caused by what's called the core wound. Now, it's not really a wound. There's no healing involved in this journey. No healing. You're not broken. You're not sick. You're not hurt. I mean, you're hurt. It feels painful, but it's not a wound that needs healing. It's just called that. Just like with the meme for this video, the great Rumi said, the wound is the place where the light enters you. The core wound is the chakra place that's located in one of those chakras. It's the place where your soul energy goes through you and interacts with the physical world. And remember, your soul energy, the part of your soul that is in your physical body and therefore goes out of your physical body to interact with the rest of the world, had to polarize itself into a push-pull energy, right? It's fear-based and it's push-pull. It had to assimilate with the 3D physical world, which is all fear-based and all opposites and polarities. So that's what your soul had to do, the part of it that's incarnated into your body, right? So there's push energy coming out of the front of that core wound and pull energy going out of the back of that core wound whenever you relate with anyone else on this earth. So why is it hurt? What is the pain about? So when you have this pain, it means your core wound has been activated. Activation happens when your soul had soul recognition. That means at the moment when your soul recognized itself within the physical body and form of your twin flame, at that moment, your push fear-based energy, your twin flames pull fear-based energy, which is also yours, but that energy got activated, just turned on. And then all of a sudden those polarities built up. And that's when you felt those intense, amazing feelings. And they built up until suddenly, and rather quickly, they repelled. The polarities just couldn't be with each other anymore. And, they repelled, and then physically that manifested as everything going to shit, right? And so when that happened, as that activation happened, those polarities built up, that was also activating your core wound. Because that energy that built up those polarities, that's where it resides. It resides in your core wound. And so when that energy is activated, which happened at soul recognition, it activates your core wound. And it doesn't feel good, right? It feels like awful. And so, since that point, it's been activated. And so every time that you feed that push fear-based energy by focusing on anything having to do with your twin flame, that means by thinking about your twin flame, by stalking your twin flame, by following your twin flame on social media, by driving by their house, by keeping contact and association with their friends and their family members and people through them. All of that, I recommend you cut all ties. You go cold turkey for at least a couple months. It's not helping your interests at all. It's a matter of self-preservation, guys. Every time that you focus in any way, shape, or form on that physical form of your twin flame or their lives or people that this energy associates with them or anything like that, that reminds this energy of them, it's keeping that energy fed. It's keeping your core wound activated. And so, at the first instance, when you might see something about your twin flame, you'll get a little bit of a jolt, a little bit of a high, even if it's just for a second, right? Because that's feeding your resident addict junkie of your push addictive fear-based energy. But with every little high, guess what? There has to be a low. That's just how it works. It's a law of polarity. So after the little high, the low. And then in the low, that's when you feel like crap. And your core wound activation, really, you feel the pain of it. I should have said this probably in the first video, but right now, if you haven't ever done it, if you haven't figured it out, block. your twin flame, or just unfriend them, unfollow them, whatever you need to do. Stop seeing them on social media. It doesn't help. It's all not true anyway. It is all an illusion. It's all irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It's not real. Okay? Nothing they're doing in the physical world matters. It is not real. And so, if your core wound is activated and you have this pain, then watching your thoughts and determining, trying not to believe them is very difficult, because like everything with the soul, as you'll notice as you move through this journey, everything involving your soul is cyclical. It's a cycle, it's a circle. So while your belief in your thoughts, like we learned yesterday, control your feelings, right? They determine your feelings, good or bad. Well, also, um, they activate your core wound, right? Like I just explained. If you have a little hit, you got to come back down and your core wound's going to be activated. Or if you just have a bad feeling, you believe a thought is bad, right? You're going to feel bad. That's going to activate your core wound as well. But it works also in the fact that when your core wound is activated, it also causes you to obsess and have more obsessive thoughts that you believe about your twin flame. So it works in a circle, right? Your beliefs and your thoughts activate your core wound, but then your core wound activation causes you to have more thoughts that you believe in about your twin flame. So it is a circle. It is a cycle, and we have to break that. The first step, like I said, is going cold turkey, breaking your addiction to the physical form of life, whatever's going on with your twin flame. Break that off. Cut it off. Right? Of course, this energy is not going to like you, like me saying this, because it's an addict, and an addict does never wants to be cut off from its drug of choice. But you must. You must. Just like it's tough love, guys. Tough love, just like you would deal with any addict with any other kind of addiction. Tough love, break it off, right? Otherwise, you will not move past this part. And so that's necessary. And then, but your core wound will still be activated. It could still be activated. And so if that's the case, if it's activated, we need to get it deactivated, because if that pain is there, that pain's going to overshadow any of the energetic work you're going to need to do in order to, one, shift closer into alignment with your soul, and then two, balance out your fear-based push energy. Both of those things require a deactivated core wound in order to be able to identify and work with the energy, doing the necessary energy work to do those things. And those two things are what's needed to magnetize for your soul to be able to bring you and your twin flames physical bodies back together physically, right? So those two things have to happen: alignment with your soul and balance of your fear-based energy. And you can't even begin to work with your energy in order to do those two things if your core wound is activated. That pain will just overshadow anything else. So it's very debilitating, as I'm sure you've figured out if you haven't already. So in order to deactivate it, we cut off, cold turkey of the addiction. Then we, if you still, it's just like I was, like, because I spent 6 months before I found my teacher and knew about this core wound or anything. I was just feeding it and feeding it, and the longer you fed it, the more it's activated, and the more like just pain it's caused. And so the more activated it is, and the more deactivating it needs to be done, right? So if your core wound is activated and it's really painful, and it's just like an awful pain in one of those three chakras, the heart chakra, the solar plexus chakra, or the sacral chakra, try to find out. There's usually one, maybe two, but one obsessive thought that keeps going around and around and around that keeps it activated. And you identify what that thought is. And one day, buy a notebook, just buy a spiral notebook. And every time you have that thought, write down the thought. I'll give you an example. So my thought was, when I was in that space, so my twin flame my twin flame moved in with someone else real quick. So my twin flame is with someone else. So he loves her more than me or whatever, right? So that was my thought. And of course, I'm believing it, that's true and that it's a bad thing or whatever. But I would write down, my teacher had me write down every time I had that thought. And I remember the first day when I did this, I filled up line after line after line of like 3/4, 75% of this spiral notebook, right? I just wrote that thought down. My twin flame is with someone else, doesn't love me. And but you don't believe it. The thing is, you're not believing it. And then you go through at the end of the day, you see how many times you wrote that down, and then you go through and you cross it out, and you're just like, not true, not true, not true. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's necessary right now. It's just bringing us closer together, because it's allowing me space and time to do this work, because this is what the only thing that is going to bring us closer together, right? And so you just don't believe it. You write down, but you don't believe it. Then you'll see how obsessive, and really just that act of doing that, of becoming aware of it and then not believing it, not giving it the power over you, taking away the power of your belief of that thought, then it just amazingly will subside. It will stop, and then your core wound will become deactivated. Um, and another thing that helps, if you happen to be in the situation where your twin flame has moved on, seemingly in a relationship with someone else, just, if you can somehow get to the point, and I know maybe this might be a little bit further down the line, but, it helps to try to get to the point where you feel, and I mean, actual, like, legitimate, genuine, authentic compassion for that person, which I know is difficult. I know it is at this point. But eventually, if you can kind of aim to get there in a little way, you don't have to, but I mean, it helps a lot with your balancing, because, you just know that that person that they're with is not with their twin flame. And, this person already is your twin flame. Your twin flame is already your twin flame. And so, just by virtue of doing this journey and doing this work, they're going to leave that person and come back to you, right? Like, it's not going to work out with that other person. So, that other person's going to be losing your twin flame. And so, they're not with their twin flame. They're not who they're meant to be with. And they're still going to be searching for that. So, if you can kind of feel some compassion there, if you can get to the point where you do that, I'm not saying you have to, and I'm not saying you have to now, but it really does help to balance further on down the line, especially if you can keep that in the back of your mind and like try to maybe get there. But you don't have to now, but I'm just throwing that in there as a little tip to help you further along. But for right now, just write down, whatever the obsessive thought is, or thoughts, and just write them down every time you have it. I don't care if you fill up like 10 notebooks in one day. Just do it every time. But you don't believe it. Don't write down like it's a true thing. Just write it down, and then you go through and you cross it out one by one at the end of the day. Like tonight, go through and see every time you thought that thought, and then cross out, be like, nope, not real, not true, not bad, not good. It just is perfect. Everything is perfect. It's exactly as it's meant to be in every moment. And you must trust and believe in the process, in this process. And this process is what? Your soul. Your soul's doing everything. Your soul's orchestrating it. And this process and this journey for you, you must trust and believe in your soul, which is yourself. And guess what? When you love someone, which you're supposed to be loving yourself unconditionally in this journey, which is also your twin flame, what do? You trust and believe in yourself. That's how you love yourself. You trust and believe in yourself. So that's how you deactivate your core wound. And it may take a couple days. But it's very necessary to do that before you can even proceed along this journey into shifting closer into alignment with your soul and balancing out your fear-based addictive energy. Because you have to be able to work with the energy. And in order to identify and work with it, you cannot have that pain, that searing pain of the core wound still there. It's almost impossible to do that with the core wound pain there. Now, another thing about core wound activation. So you may be able to deactivate your core wound, not feel it, and you're moving along, you're doing great, you're feeling great. Then all of a sudden, bam, out of nowhere, you wake up one day and, oh my God, that pain is back. And you're like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? This is very common. This happens all the time, at least numerous times to everyone as they're working through this journey. Now, why does that happen? Well, because your core wound is activated. It's activated energy. It's your fear-based push-pull energy that is activated, right, at soul recognition. Well, when it's activated, it becomes very susceptible, very sensitive to all other energies out there in the universe. And everything has energy. Everything is energy. So, every event, like every celestial event, for example, gives off a certain energy frequency that's unique and individual only to that event. So, for example, every lunar phase, every, eclipse, every solstice or equinox or, change of seasons, things of that nature, anything going on in the universe that causes an energy shift has its own energy frequency. And depending on your energy frequency, which is also unique and individual to you and your twin flame, but that's it, it's very susceptible to these energies. And depending on which event or whatever it resonates with, your core wound will resonate with some of them or one of them or something, and it will feel activated again. Now, know that this happens for a reason. This is your soul doing this for a reason. Why? Because every single one of these episodes that happen, they don't feel good for a couple days, but guess what? You come out of them even more, feeling even better, even more balanced, as long as you just take it gently and you don't put any judgment on it and you just feel the feelings, but you don't believe any of the thoughts that come up. Okay? Just know that these are going to be helping you. They're put there on purpose. They help push you along. They help balance you more. And they help move you closer to balance. So if you ever do wake up to one of those kind of days, just don't freak out. No, it'll be gone within a few days and you'll be feeling even better than before. So I just want to throw that out there. That is very common. And then once you're able to deactivate your core wound, you're able to be present, you're able to be watching your thoughts and then not believing that they are good or bad. You don't judge your thoughts, they just are. And you'll start to feel so much better, right? And then it's at that point where you will be ready, you'll be able to identify and work with your soul energy and use it to shift closer into alignment with your soul and therefore your twin flame and love and all those amazing things that come with that. And then also to balance out your fear-based pushed addictive energy, which then is what also balancing out your pull addictive energy, which is your twin flame, and making that neutral. And then just via your soul working in concert with the universal law of attraction, which is always going on. You don't have to you don't consciously do this. It just is always happening, just like gravity, right? We don't have to think about law of attraction. It just is. You somehow get brought together and your soul will do that in any way you would never anticipate. All of a sudden your twin flame will be there again, physically in your world, when you least expect it and when in a way you don't even expect. Now, the actual act of the actions of shifting closer into alignment with your soul, of balancing out your push, fear-based, addictive energy are intricate, they're complex, they're beyond a video. They're unique and individual to your own circumstances and situations and journey, just like you and your twin flame are unique and individual from everyone else. Everyone's journey is unique and individual in how it plays out. So they are beyond me. I can't just coach you on those things in a video. There's too many people watching this one video where it's like, it's just beyond a video. However, that is what I help people do in my coaching program. So if you have been working in this challenge and you've been doing this stuff, no matter how long it takes you, it doesn't have to take you 5 days, guys. This is not a race. No, time doesn't even matter in this realm. Time doesn't even exist. That's fake. It's an illusion. Again, so take however much time you need. Just once you're feeling great, and if you're doing these challenges and you're not feeling any better and you're just not getting it, I go into way more deeper coaching with what this challenge has taught you guys in my coaching program as well. And then I take you even further into like everything you need to do to shift closer into alignment with your soul, to balance your fear-based push addictive energy and magnetize your twin flame back into your physical world. And then I even take it even further and help you balance even more, maintain your balance as you keep interacting with your twin flame so that you can keep your twin flame as a part of your physical world in any way you choose to do so, or not. It's up to you. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this challenge. If you're interested in working with me in my coaching program, which has 100% success rate, it cannot fail. You cannot fail this, guys. This is you. This is your soul. Your soul doesn't fail. It's perfect. Then I'll put a link down below this video where you can schedule a free clarity consultation. And this consultation is you'll get a personalized 3-step map to your own journey, your steps you need to take. And this isn't a sales call. This is a clarity consultation. And then it's it's during this consultation that we can figure out if you would be a good fit for my coaching program. There's only one of me. There's only so much room in my coaching programs. So, I don't extend an invitation to everyone on these calls. And also, there are pre-qualifying questions. There is an application to fill out before the call, because it helps us to pre-screen as well, because we'll know right away if you would be a good fit or not just from those questions. Um, but you'll be offered an invitation if we feel you're a good fit on the call, and if you are, then you can choose and decide then and there whether or not to accept the invitation. No hard feelings, no obligation, nothing. If anything, you'll get more clarity from your call, and so try it out. Fill an application. Try to get a clarity consultation, a free one with us, and you can take it from there and see what you like. And so I hope you enjoyed this 5-day challenge. It really is all about feeling good and feeling better. It's all about you guys and your own personal self and feeling good. And it really has no focus on the twin flame, the physical form of the twin flame. They'll be right along with you. You're going to pull them right into alignment, and you're going to balance them out just as you're doing with yourself. That's why it only takes one twin flame to do this work, because you're doing it for your whole soul, and that is your twin flame. And just remember, no matter what your crazy mind is telling you, you are not separate from your twin flame. No matter what it looks like in the physical world, you're never separate. You're always together. So get that idea out of your mind right now. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this Twin Flame Challenge. If you have, share it. If you know of any other Twin Flames that need help, if you know of any other Twin Flame groups, Twin Flame videos where they're just like getting all this crazy misinformation, help fellow Twin Flame journeyers out, okay? That it's needed. It's needed. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and people are in a lot of pain, which is why I even do this. So, and share the videos if you think they will help people. And thanks again for watching this challenge. I hope to do another one in the future. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do videos at least twice every week. If I get 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be doing live videos on YouTube as well. So definitely subscribe if you haven't, and get other people to subscribe to you in Twin Flame groups, and you'll get a lot more content and information from me. Until then, keep feeling good, keep working these things, keep watching those thoughts and not believing them. And take care. Love yourself, guys. Lots of love. Bye.